No, that's not my computer being super duper bright out of the blue like it sometimes does. Well, actually, it is partly because it's like maybe 1% that. But it's actually about 7:15 right now on this beautiful Sunday morning, which, happy Sunday, everybody, and good morning. But the sun is actually starting to peek through some fog a little bit. I think it's going to be a pretty good day. I mean, actually, yesterday was really good. It was like 64 yesterday, and I think it's going to be like 67 today. And it's going to be like almost 70 on Monday, even though it's, from what I hear, it's supposed to rain. I think this is probably the most straight I actually have the bear in comparison to the camera. But, yep. Honestly, I think you would need a relaxing Sunday like yesterday, considering that, you know, there was two really good games yesterday, and honestly, I am a little, well, I'm not really upset the Texas Tech won so much that I am upset by the fact that Auburn couldn't beat Virginia, because Auburn got robbed. Let's get this out of the way right now. Auburn totally got robbed. They should have won that game, and, you know, like, there was like a double dribble call that wasn't there that Virginia did, and yeah, it was just, I really think, I mean, Texas Tech and Michigan State, honestly, you know, Michigan State's been playing good, but from what I saw, Texas Tech just had better defense, and just ask any coach or parent who's a coach or anyone who knows sports in general, whether it's football or baseball or basketball or hockey or lacrosse or wrestling or whatever sport you do, defense wins championships. Oh yeah, and soccer. Did I not mention soccer? Yeah. So yeah, pretty much every sport that I just mentioned, actually every sport I just mentioned, involves the notion that defense wins championships, and that's honestly what Texas Tech did. I was actually visiting my folks last night, and we're watching the game there, and, you know, it was nearing the end of the first half, and my father made the notion that they're not going to score more than 50 points in this game, which they did. You know, the final score being 61-51. But the fact that, you know, there's that, 10 points is a substantial margin in basketball, as opposed to, like, 1 point in the other game, which was very, very, very close. Although I have to say, it's really weird, and someone please tell me if I'm the only one who's actually, like, noticed this, but, I played a little youth league basketball in my day, and, games really weren't very long by any means, but I definitely remember games where, we score we have scores like, say, 61-51 or higher scores like closer to 70 or 80 points a game on, both teams having that is. I bring this up because games in youth league are a lot shorter, and you actually have more games that score higher, and those teams at the shorter games have more points being scored than the longer games in the collegiate and even NBA levels, where points are fewer. Oh, actually, I should really just college. The NBA is a little bit is definitely all over the place with that one, but it's just something that, like, I noticed, and it doesn't bother me by any stretch of the imagination. It's just something that, I noticed over time. Maybe I think it's because the older you get, the more a good coach is really going to hammer in the importance of defense. Because, as I just said earlier, and Probably every coach in the history of sports has said this, but defense does in fact win championships. So, yeah. Texas Tech legitimately proved that they are the better team due to their defense alone, and nothing wrong with that. So, now we get to tomorrow's game. Virginia and Texas Tech. Now, I did think long and hard about this, and maybe I am a little biased because at least Texas Tech got there the right way by flat out defeating their opponent, whereas literally the last 2 games Virginia's won, they got very, very lucky, but with not getting calls. So my pick for tomorrow is going to be Texas Tech, which was actually really interesting because before I headed home, and I completely forgot about this, but Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Pat Mahomes, he went to Texas Tech, and he was actually in the stands for the last night's game. That was pretty cool. He actually did the I think he was trying to do a Hunger Games type thing. Hold on, let me do it. Where he's pull the arrow and but I almost let it go this hand, but it's you pull back an arrow just like that, and that's what he did. So that's cool. Good to see that Patrick Mahomes is supporting his team. And speaking of quarterbacks that are supporting their team or their college alumni or alma mater, let's talk about Michigan State for a second, because this was actually something that made me laugh hysterically. So, in preparation for the Final Four game, Michigan State actually got one of their prestigious alumni to give the team a pep talk, if you will. Now, one would suggest that you get someone like Magic Johnson, who went to Michigan State, is a very successful person all around, and that would be the end of it, right? Nope. So, they got former Redskins quarterback and now Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins to give them a pep talk. Now, I want to put this out there right now. I do like Kirk Cousins. I think he's a swell guy, and he's smart. He actually makes investments that involve because he knows that playing in the NFL is fleeting. He's not going to be able to make the millions of dollars that he makes a year. So he buys for his car, he got himself an old raggedy van to drive around in, which is smart. Again, you never know if the success you have will last. So you want to be able to save it and, be smart with the money you have, which is awesome. And that's actually a lesson that not enough people live by, if our economy is of any indication of that. The problem is Kirk Cousins is not a very good quarterback. I mean, good enough to play in the NFL, and yes, he has had several years where he had 4,000 plus yards altogether, passing and running and stuff like that. I forget the number, but it's 4,000 plus. So he is a top tier quarterback, but when you compare him to the likes of, say, Drew Brees or Tom Brady or heck, even Dak Prescott or Carson Wentz, those guys are all better than he is. In fact, okay, well, after winning the second Super Bowl, Eli Manning I would take over Kirk Cousins, but I would say Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Eli Manning. Which, I'm sorry, Giants fans, it pains me to say this, but and as conflicting as this is, you're going to have to keep Eli Manning for a while unless you draft a QB in the first round. Unfortunately, I don't think, because I think the Giants are going to try and trade for Josh Rosen. And they might try and get Dwayne Haskins in the draft. But long term, I don't think either one of those guys is going to be the answer. Like, maybe the kid from Duke, David something or whatever, I forget his name, the QB from Duke, or the QB from Auburn, the guy who actually beat Alabama once. Or was it Georgia? I forget. But yeah, like Andrew Stitton or Andrew Stitfield or something like that. Like, those two guys are probably better than Dwayne Haskins or even Josh Rosen. So, unless you do something, you're going to be stuck with Eli for even longer. And I know it's sad because one guy I really like a lot is Michael Rappaport, who is a huge Giants fan. I mean, he doesn't like my Cowboys, but I can't really get mad at him because I like and respect the guy too much. And he says that it's painful for him to say because nothing is ever going to supersede what Eli Manning did. He beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl not once, but twice. And most likely for those reasons alone, Eli Manning is going to be in the Hall of... Well, for those reasons and more, I should say. For those reasons and more, Eli Manning is going to be in the Hall of Fame. For sure. So, yeah. I think it's about time you retire him. I'd say put him out the pasture, but I keep thinking put him out the pasture means something a lot more grim, and I don't want to feel that way about somebody. So, yeah. Today's video really seems to talk about a lot of sports, didn't it? But, yeah. So, with that said, again, my pick for the finals is going to be Texas Tech. Partly because I think Virginia is running out of get-out-of-jail-free cards, quote-unquote, for how many not calls they're getting. Plus, honestly, Texas Tech Red Raiders, that's double alliteration. And that's awesome. So, if Texas Tech's defense plays tomorrow night like they did last night, Texas Tech is going to win for sure. In fact, I'm half expecting that to be the case. But, we'll just have to see how it turns out. Whatever happens, though, it's bound to be an exciting game tomorrow, regardless of what the outcome is. If nothing else, the hype is going to be pretty awesome. So, yeah. Okay, I've actually almost put this off, but yes, I finally got my fresh squeezed lemonade from Hokey Pokeys. Ah, it was refreshing. Although I will admit, though, it was good, but it didn't taste as sweet as I thought it would be. Like, this is fresh squeezed, like, this is legitimate fresh squeezed lemonade. Like, they use, like, the machine to press down the lemon and get the juice out and everything. Like, lemons, water, sugar, and, like, ice are like the only things that are in this lemonade. That's why it's so, that's one of the reasons why it's like so, it feels homey. It's like a warm feeling when you drink a cold beverage. That's odd. But, yeah. Maybe if I get it again tomorrow, it'll probably be a little sweeter. Maybe. I don't know. So, yeah. All I have to do now is just sit back, relax, and do stuff throughout the day. I don't know. Today's awfully cool. I mean, considering that the next 2 weeks are Palm Sunday and Easter for me, the fact that we have one quiet Sunday is, pretty nice. So, I hope it's nice for all you too. So, like, favorite, turn that the subscribe button. I could really use the support on YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. As always, I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I am hopeful we all have a wonderful and relaxing Sunday. And remember, if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear, and I'll always have your back. Take care, and make Good choices, everyone. See ya.